Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome. I just let everyone arrive as always. Hopefully you can hear me alright. Hopefully you've got a cup of tea. Hi Cecilia, hi Judy. Welcome to the group. Hi Fiona, hi Lucas, how you doing? Hi Lisa, how you doing? Hi Christine. You can hear loud and clear, no problem. Good morning. It is 3 o'clock here in the UK. The weather forecast is raining and it's quite warm in here, which is nice. Morning, Lauren. Morning, Teresa. Good morning from Minneapolis. Minneapolis. I can't say it. All right. So, sip of tea first. I've got my lovely Harvest Mouse mug today. I don't know if you can see it. I'll get it. Zoom. There he is. Hang on, let's get the light off him. He's our little friend for today on his mushroom. So today I was going to talk about finding peace in presence. And to prepare for this session, I usually make extensive notes, look for some quotes, look at my own practice, think about it. And then I thought, for this one, to teach it properly is really to not prepare a thing, because we spend so much of our lives preparing for something, and trying to say the right thing and trying to live as a future self, a future us. And for all the preparation you can do in life, you have no idea how you'll feel in that moment. And I think the first lesson in to be present is to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to not know and to not have the answers and to not really not need for the external world to match a certain window in how you see it should be. So for sitting here right now, the external situation here is that I'm doing a live session on Insight Timer, and I'm supposed to be a teacher. So there's a concept there, and I'm teaching something. So there's something to be sort of sent over in the waves, but what's really going on there? That's a story, really. That is a concept in all of our minds as we watch this. Stay with me, I've gone deep already. What's really here is what's there for you. And, you can hear my voice, there's sound. There's maybe an awareness of your body. There's an awareness of the room you're in. There's most likely a mind wondering what this is and whether you've come to the right place today. And most likely a bit of restlessness. Yes, restlessness, in that there should be some entertainment as part of this. And there will be entertainment. There's plenty of entertainment laid on with my sessions. But there's something amazing. We talk about presence a lot in meditation and being present, and a lot of us find that when we are present, those things creep in. Boredom, restlessness, self-doubt, loathing, fear, all that stuff. And then we kind of go, hang on a minute. I was told that the present moment is all good stuff, drop in and you're there and you're surfing away on emptiness and bliss, and at least that's what the books tell us and the teachers tell us. And then we feel anxious in the moment, in the present moment. We go, oh no, I've not got that right. Hang on a minute. Just tune my brain out a bit more. There we go. Now I'm present. Oh, I've got some aches now. Oh dear. No, that's not the present moment, because I feel, I've got an ache and a pain. And then we sit for a bit longer. I think, right, I'll just adjust my body a bit. Now I'll sit. Okay, this is it now. I'm going to sit here, whatever, in meditation, just sitting. No, there's something missing. I've got it wrong. I've got it wrong again. So I've sat here, I've got my meditation seat. I've, taken some deep breaths. I've done some stretching, some yoga. I've made a cup of tea. And yet still, there's that feeling of lack of nothing. And on the first glance, that's it. That's what we experience, and we think that's it. But the magic happens when we stay with that stuff. When we sit with the busy mind, we sit with the unease, we sit with the self-judgment, we sit with the self-doubt, we sit with the busyness, the need to fill this moment with something that isn't here right now, whether it's our phone or an email to send or a call to make or a complaint to have, whatever it is. We've got to sit through that and trust that when we connect back into what is really here, like the truth of this moment beyond our concept of what life is in all sort of its labels and names, then we begin to start to release and move into the moment, the present moment, and realize that it's fully alive and full of everything we've been running around in our day after, all day, all our life, actually. Because we spend our life trying to get to something, trying to get to the thing. I don't know what your thing is, whether it's some recognition or some peace or an end to pain or someone to like you or someone to disappear or whatever it is. The holiday, the weekend, the evening, the end of the morning, whatever it is, Andy's session to be over. Luckily, you can switch me off at the tap of a button. How brutal. And we don't believe that we can be happy, or not even happy, forget happiness. That's the thing that comes in the sort of back door of when we're present, when we feel present and planted, and I want to say at one with the moment. It is at one with the moment. That it's said a lot, but it is. And when we can feel at one with the moment, and we witness our whole experience that unfolds beyond the story, the lovely story that we all carry along with us as well. Just for a moment while you sit here, see what it's like as an experiment, just to drop your entire story, your life story right now, who you think you are, whether you think you're male or female or whatever, even that, your name, throw that, you don't need that either. Your, the problems you've had in life, whatever they are, traumatic events, it's a big one, it's hard to drop, but see if you can leave it be. And we all know that the imprints of trauma, of course, stay with us. They appear as pain and anxiety, but that doesn't mean you can't still be present with it without adding the story to it. There's the difference there. And then you're working with it directly rather than through a narrative, through sensation, through emotion, through um, for a really lovely, spacious awareness that can hold the whole thing. So let's just bring that to life a bit more. Do a little meditation, I think, to drop into presence. And it sounds like we're going to do something. We're not doing anything, unfortunately. There's no. And here we are now. We're going to go and dive off the board into a meditation. That's not. That's by the by. We're already there. We're here. But we can give ourselves a fighting chance sometimes by closing our eyes. That's what meditation is. You've been lied to all these years. You're meditating all the time. You just close your eyes. It makes it. That's suddenly called meditation. I'm joking, of course. It does help a little bit. Just close down one sense. Close down your ears if you can. But then you're not listening to me. But that's probably not a bad thing as well. So I'm going to invite you to just to close your eyes if you want to, and we're just going to sit for 5-10 minutes and drop into presence and see how we feel after that. And be curious, because this is all meditation is always it's always an experiment. There isn't a sort of written one way. It's always try this out. How do you feel? What's the result? What's the not even result? What manifests when we sit without any aim or need for an outcome or anything like that? And what happens when we step out of our conceptual mind? One side note before we do the meditation is that I'm in no way saying that we need to bypass life. This is a way to embrace the life, the madness, the strange occurrences in our days, the solid stuff. It's not wood. It's a lie. It's just a throw. It's not real. This isn't real. It is actually. I'm joking. That is definitely real. I promise. It needs a water, but it's certainly real. This is all real. We're real. So we've got to work with that too. But let's see what exists beyond the story, the narrative, and the need to be anywhere but right here, even in a subtle way, a tiny little way, in a tiny part of you just wants the next thing to happen, the meditation to occur. Maybe there's another teacher you want to see later on. Maybe there's a meditation you want to do. Maybe it's dinner. Maybe it's breakfast. Maybe it's the cup of coffee after this or the meeting up. All that stuff that's in the future, right? See what it's like to just imagine this is it. This is the thing. There's something amazing in this moment. You just haven't noticed it yet. Please entertain that for me just for a moment. All right, so let's meditate. Okay, so close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in, all the way down into your belly. Breathe out. Let your shoulders drop. Let your whole body melt down into the surface that you're sitting or lying on. And notice how you feel right now. Doing a little litmus test. Noticing the tone of how you are in this moment. Are you feeling energized and awake? Is there a sense of tiredness or strain, unease? Maybe a longing, a restlessness, Perhaps it feels good just to sit here and have your eyes closed and for these moments have nothing to do. So noticing how you are without any judgment, if you can. And just say to yourself, I am here. I am here. And that's enough. And relax your face a little bit more, relax your shoulders, relax your arms, your legs, your hands and your feet. And then gently move your attention to your breath, just as an anchor point, while you allow your body and your mind to gently slow down and meet this moment. And you can notice your breath at your nostrils, feeling the cool air coming in and the warm air going out. Or you can just get a sense of your whole body rising and falling. And just staying with your breath, nothing else to do. Your mind might want to wander off into thoughts, searching for something, some kind of entertainment. But just gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Gently guide it back to the aliveness of this moment. Just breathing and feeling the dance of sensation in your body. Aware of sounds and silence. And dropping deeper with each breath. Letting go on each out-breath. Letting go of thoughts, stories, letting go of the need to know, to understand. And letting go of your name. Letting go of all the things that you own. all the things that you've done in life. And gently being curious about what's here, what's left. What's aware of this moment. Doesn't need to be named. Seeing what it's like to leave everything be. Knowing that there might be some initial discomfort in the sense of just being here. Perhaps of a lack of purpose for a moment. Maybe some clarity. Again, no need to try to understand, to figure out. Just dropping down, letting it be, trusting in life, dropping down into presence. This infinite awareness that sees and knows it all. Nothing to be improved, to be figured out. Allowing all those parts of yourself to come together as one. And mind will come in. Words, images. Just notice. Know that you don't have to follow anything. You are the awareness, aware of thoughts, but you are not the thoughts themselves. And your mind may come in, looking for something to hold on to, something to rekindle a sense of interest. And that's okay, just notice that. Leave it be. trusting that everything you need is right here in this moment. Feeling the space around this moment, the aliveness, the room to breathe, the room to be. And just take a moment to acknowledge how you're feeling right now. No need to judge. And then take a few deep breaths for yourself. Down into your belly. Allow your face to soften a bit more and your shoulders to drop. Knowing that as we come to the end of this meditation, nothing needs to change. We don't need to switch back into anything. Just continuing this presence. And there's no effort needed to do this either. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes as we end this meditation. Thank you for sitting with me. Always a lovely experience, even though we're all geographically fairly far apart. I hope everyone feels a bit better, a bit more present. Again, nothing's changed. We're still here. We've let go of the show. There's a big show going on planet Earth at the moment. There was always a show. There's always theatres, travelling theatres, and artists here, there, and everywhere. But everyone's decided to join the show and put them on ourselves on our phones, and even with teaching, teachers, spiritual teachers, there's a sense of trying to be louder, to be heard, and that creates a bit of a show, trying to pull people into what you're trying to say. And I think that kind of pulls us out of what we are, who we are, and the sort of quality of what we want to say as well. I think lately I've been thinking a lot about interactions of people each day, and how meaningful they could be if we didn't do the show, the act, the sort of safe conversations. Hey, how you doing? How's the weather? Yeah, not too bad. How's your weekend? Oh, busy. Yeah. How's work? Yeah. It's like it's performance a lot of the time. It does often lead, it can lead into a deeper conversation and connection with someone, and presence. But a lot of the time, these are passing interactions with people, and they they act only as uh, a way for us all to try and feel normal, and try and feel, that we fit in. We're all trying to fit in as well, all trying to say the right thing at the right time, um, even though it doesn't feel like us, like who we are. Um, we often hold back a lot more than we let out. We hold the real stuff out for ourselves, and that's a shame, because that's the stuff that changes people. And and sharing some inner workings. I'm not saying we've got to bare our souls every day, but I think when we're more present, we open ourselves up to be more vulnerable and authentic and real. And I think that's the challenge. I think to be present, in the present moment, which is an age-old teaching, and we all know that this is all we have. From here up, we know that there is only this moment, and yet that doesn't change a thing. We still carry on in life as if the next moment will be better, or the next moment needs to be fulfilled. And more than ever, we have the tools to plan. We can plan ahead for months and weeks and years. I mean, we fill our moments with planning the future. Anything you do, if you're saving for something, or you live in a house that you own and you want to do it up, you're planning to do it up. You're not planning to enjoy. You're not enjoying it as it is. You're planning to do it up, and you do it up, and then you're not happy with that because something older breaks, and you go and fix that, and then something else breaks, and then you decide you don't like the colour that you had before, and round and round we go, constantly shifting all the stuff around to avoid feeling what we feel, and to avoid being in a space that's quiet, and being with discomfort. We wake up in the morning, and often the first thing people do is put their radio on. Turn the radio on. I can't bear the silence of my own thoughts. Thanks. Let's pretend, create a mood that wasn't there before, and now it is, because there's, or having a TV on in the background. These comforting things, they're not entirely wrong in themselves, but they do create a mask over what we're feeling, and they do create a little barrier between us, what we're feeling in the present moment, and maybe the opportunity to process something, or have our own unique thought or experience. What I do quite often is, go for walks. Walks are my sort of holy grail without any technology with me. And they're often the times when I think of things that are really exciting. Like, my most creative ideas have always come from a walk. I know that's nothing new. Even not, I don't listen to music as well. You just sit and you let your mind run through, and random stuff pops up, and then sometimes something really insightful and helpful comes up, or a feeling, or a little wave of courage, or a little wave of vulnerability, or something. And I know that we all have our busy lives, and I know that it's hard to fit everything in, and to go for a walk is a luxury, or to have time with yourself for some is a luxury, and for some all your time is with yourself, and the last thing you want to do is be with yourself because you've got so much time with yourself. So, oh no, I didn't sign up for this. I want life, not too much time with myself though. I would rather be with other things going on and people, and that's great and wonderful, and we're made to socialize and connect. Um, but if we leave it all to our poor body at the end of the day, and we finally go to sleep after looking at our phones some more, looking at TV a bit more, whatever it is, and we can't sleep, and we go, why can't I sleep? I've been so busy today. I should be tired. But you've been busy not allowing the process to go around. We're complex little creatures, and we need time to sort of percolate and process and understand, and we need breathing space and space to be tired and space to feel anxious and space to feel the moment. And so night times are sort of tough times for a lot of people because they've avoided all that stuff in the day, the bombardment. I don't blame you. It can be quite overwhelming being human. And then there's all the work to be done when you close your eyes. That's everything goes bang. Finally, now you've stopped. You've finally turned your music off and your TV. Let's go. So there lies the joy and the challenge of the present moment. And I'm a firm believer, or not believer, I know that we can all be in the present moment, and we can all be at peace, at ease, without too much effort. But we're not often willing to drop, or to accept, or to let go enough. And that moves into our what we'd call your ego, and I like to say your vulnerability, really. It's our vulnerable self that's there, that wants to stay alive and wants to be heard and seen. And there's the work we do in meditation is I think part of that is to meet that vulnerable self and let it pass through and let it move on. And so it makes it easier in life. Once we've met those sort of shadowy parts of ourselves, not even shadow, they're part of us. We don't have to be mean, call them shadows. Those things that we've had all our lives probably, where we've always been triggered, and we believe that that's it, that's me. Nothing's ever going to change. I'm never going to, shift. And yet we accept that everything changes around us. People change, situations change, everything's constantly changing. But when it comes to us, we don't believe that. We see, visually see things change. We see our bodies change as we get older. But we don't believe that sort of actual real change is possible. And that sort of holds us back from trying sometimes, and from going near the stuff that we think could make us feel worse as well. And there are times to approach our stuff, whatever that is, and there are times to leave it be, and there are times to there's times to work through it. But more often than not, the fixing or the repair job comes from us, from within. We know ourselves best, and I'm an advocate for therapy as well. If anyone's wondering about that, I've come from a therapy background, and I've seen amazing things happen through all sorts of different types of therapy and counselling. Especially art therapy is a bit of a wonder for me, I think. But a lot of the healing does after the therapy. It happens after the therapy. I notice when there's time to step back and understand and use the courage that you often get from a session in therapy and validation and that kind of thing. So I think there's always a lot of talk about present moment and spiritual practice and all this kind of thing. Often misses out. A lot of people have experienced a lot of trauma and things like that, and there isn't a kind of, for a long time when I was younger, I used to think I just need to fix this all myself, and I can't be present. It's my own fault, and that's not very healthy either. And so sometimes we need help from other people. In the same way as you'd speak to a friend to get an idea about a decision or whatever it is. Everyone has a different route into finding a way to be in presence, and so you have to find your way, because I can't say 5 things. And a lot of these courses now, you see, guaranteed 8-week course, we will feel this way, overcome fear, overcome anxiety. They can be great, but they also rely heavily on you knowing yourself as an individual and knowing yourself and understanding what will help alongside that. There's always a holistic approach to everyone. We're not these 2-dimensional. Again, I used to think that if I just meditated for the rest of my life, all my problems would go away and I'd be fine. While eating ice cream, and for breakfast, and whatever it is, McDonald's for lunch, and we have to look after everything. Our diet, our things around us. We have to. We've got this planet. There are things on it that are good for us. There are things we shouldn't touch. Poisonous berries, that sort of thing. Tell my kids that. Don't touch the berries. We eat some poisonous berries, knowing that they're poisonous, and we expect to feel all right. And so we've got to, take some ownership for that stuff as well. You can't be present if you're, something your diet is cause anxiety, or, there's a big traumatic event that happened to you when you were a child that you've never even looked at with someone else, or never even tried to understand in some way. Again, therapy isn't for everyone, but you have to. I think you could try and explore things if you have the means. That is, of course, therapy is also incredibly expensive. So yeah, it's always my hope with anything that there's a sort of mirror experience, in that you go, oh, okay, I can see this in me, this in me, this in me. I know this works. I know that I couldn't do this because that's fine. Maybe the present moment brings up so much anxiety right now. That's just too much. That's fine. You're not doing anything wrong. It's a little sign. It's a recognise. Okay, something needs to be sort of addressed here. But could I try this? This thing instead. What helps me at the moment? Some sort of movement, exercise, present. Something that still allows me to move into a sense of presence, but doesn't trigger certain things that I feel I don't want to feel right now. We have to go gently. There's not a sort of dive in. I remember going on retreats when I was younger, when I was very anxious, and it was a horrible experience, because they were sometimes in silence, and it was actually re-traumatizing in some ways. Now I look back at it, I thought, I'm going to go on a retreat and learn meditation. I'm going to be fixed, and then you realise that you spent the whole time feeling worse, and you convince yourself that you had to get through that, in order to heal. So please don't do that. Start off small, build yourself up. If you want to try a retreat, you've never done it, they're brilliant, they're wonderful if you're in the right place to do it. And you don't have to be, you don't have to be happy clappy shining star skipping on the ground. If you've got anxiety or you've got some mental health issues that you struggle with, you can still go on a retreat. You just have to be aware of those things and make sure that whoever's organising a retreat is aware of that, and you feel safe and supported in anything you do. That's very important. But for a lot of us, the barrier to presence is just ourselves, our little brains going, come on, get to the next thing now. And the guilt if we don't get enough done. I don't know if you've had a day that's gone unproductive. That's the worst word in the world. I've not had a productive day today. But you could reframe that, not in a sort of mind trick way, but what about I've just had an off day, or not even an off day, a day to lay low, a day to recharge, a day where I couldn't be anything but unproductive because I'm not a robot, and for whatever reason unknown to me, tiredness crept in, or anxiety crept in, or something else I had to work on, and it sort of stopped me from whatever it is. And then for fear of judgment, of going, oh, you're not your usual self, or you're not, what's my usual self? That's another one, isn't it? What's your usual self? Is your usual self you? Or is it, where's the balance? We all put on a bit of an act. We all do. We wear different hats, If I was talking now to my children, they would just be running around and ignoring me, and I'd end up just shouting at them, listen to your spiritual teaching. Thankfully, I don't talk to them about anything. Well, I do, but they just don't listen, which is fine. We all slightly wear different hats, but then there's still authenticity to be had within that. And the more authentic we are, and I've just said this earlier, the more we can be present, and the more we can feel at home as ourselves, and the less we have this sense of self hanging over us like a dark cloud, trying to be someone, doing fancy things like having a nice backdrop and a plant unnecessarily. I could just sit in a broom cupboard, couldn't I, really, to be honest? Don't need all this. I was actually planning, I thought I might just do a simple thing just in the corner of my room. We don't need all this shenanigans. It looks nice though, but it's not entirely necessary. But then, for me, this feels nice. It feels like this is something I like. It's part of me. The idea of a traveller's tavern, and I like sort of medieval stuff, and I like the olden times. So it's a nod to that. Is that part of me that's likes that. It's not medieval enough yet. I need some swords in here and that kind of thing. But it doesn't feel quite taverny. Must be the colouring. The colouring needs to be a bit more. It's a bit red. I need more darker. Dark. It's too bright. In fact, it's way too bright. See, look, my judging mind is all over the place on this one. One of the things that causes the most anxiety and blocks us from being present is that sense of self, and that sense of belonging and fitting in, and being normal enough to be in society. And I will put my hand up now and say I am certainly a little bit of an odd bod, going off doing meditation retreats, learning to be a spiritual teacher, or learning or not, and all the rest of it. But why? Why do we feel that sense of, at the cost of our happiness, to try and be someone we're not, or to try and succeed or show someone something, oh yeah, I've won this one. Whatever it is in life, winning's a big thing these days. Success and winning and getting your goals and achieving, and everyone else is a loser if they don't get their big house by the age of whatever it is. It's all over the internet, all these things. I mean, I don't know if I'm just on a bad algorithm and I looked at one for too long and now I'm stuck with it forever. This could be you. This could be you. But I am me, so I don't need to be, if you ever see anything that says, this could be you in a few years, it's like, no, I'm me already in this now. I've already won. You don't need to take my money. I'm already me. Cheers. Um, so my little challenge for you really is for the next sort of few days or week or your lifetime, ask yourself a question, if you're anxious or you just can't be, the present moment just creates something you just want to avoid. And just ask yourself, where is it? Where is it in your body? It's always good to start there. And then feel into it and notice your sense of self in there as well, the me, and notice if there's any story in that. And then from there we can only thing we can do from there is to surrender to it, really. And that's the crossroads there. That's the bit where you go, oh, but I really want to be the victim, or I really want to be the savior, or I really want to be the successful one that always got it right, or I always want to be the one that fixes stuff, I always want to be the one that never lets anyone down, oh, I always want to be the one that always cooks a nice food, I always want to be the one that puts on a good party. Whatever it is, that part of you that just destroys you as well, because you've set this bar of who you are so high. Notice if that's in there in any way, shape and form, and have the guts to surrender. Courage. That's what it is. It's courage. And just know that the end result is far better than holding on to that person. People don't care as much as we think they do as well. It's a sad fact. We are very much at the centre of our universe, more than ever at the moment. There's quite a narcissistic sort of world in some ways. Of course, there's also very meaningful relationships and family. There's all that stuff for us. But the people we try and impress or try and be something for, they're thinking about their own stuff in it as well. And we often think we want to please people so much that it's at the cost of our own sanity and integrity, and that's not good. Don't do it. I don't like saying don't anything, but that's one not to. Yeah, it's a cliche really, but it's be yourself. Be yourself. Can't be anyone else. Do things how you do them. Try and be as kind as you can, and some good things will happen. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes we do all the things we're ourselves. Ta-da! And it still goes a bit wrong, and it all falls apart. And we think, hang on a minute, I was being myself there. That's a bit rubbish. I thought that opens all the doors. I was promised that. Just be yourself in life, kid. You're gonna go far. And no one likes you. What do you do then? It's still yourself. It's fine. There's that expectation constantly. Do this, get that. Do this, get that. Do this, do this, do this, do this. You get that. You get that. You get that. There's always, I'm also a firm believer. There's always things go the way they should for us when we trust in our life and we make decisions based on how we feel and what's in our heart as well. And again, it's another cliche. What in your heart? Feel your heart, but it's a source of something. Put your hand on your heart now, on your chest. It's contact. It's honesty. I think when you do that, you just feel honest. You suddenly feel I don't know what it is. It breaks down a little barrier there. You just suddenly go, People do that, don't they? When they say sorry, if you bump into someone, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I think that's a really nice thing. It's like a letting your guard down, like the genuine sort of, it's a nice leveler. if only people would do that in cars, but it might cause some accidents. You know, you're, oh, I'm terribly sorry, put your hand out the window. You kind of want their hands on the steering wheel. Right. I've got 5 minutes left. I've done quite a bit of talking. We've done a meditation. You're still here. We're all present now. We know what presence is. You're fixed. You don't need to come back here for anything else. And you don't need to, you're done. Congratulations. I'll send you all a certificate in the post to let you know that you're present and you're also you. And that was easy. 1 hour. That's all it took for Presence 101. That's it. And isn't it nice not to have to prepare something? Just for me, I think one of the nicest meditations I ever recorded was in my garden. For one of my courses, I did a garden one, and I woke up really early, which was always exciting. Before my children woke up, which is the first 3 in the morning, and unfortunately there was no sounds. It was silent. I thought, I want nature sounds here. There's no nature, and I was utterly disappointed. So I just sat there with my cup of tea and just enjoyed that. And it required no editing and no sort of. I mean, a lot of the stuff I don't script anyway, unless it's a visualization kind of thing. But we get so scripted, and sometimes when I do these live sessions, I get very preppy. I need a good quote here and a good thing there and a good thing to say, and I need a structure. And then as soon as you start looking at it all, and you lose all the flow, and it all just, it's not. It loses something. Equally, it can go the other way, and you can ramble on for an hour, and no one's any the wiser. So sorry about that. I've just remembered. I do have something pre-prepared. I was just pondering over this earlier today, and I thought that's quite a nice one. That's a good ending. So this is Mary Oliver's book. It's called 1,000 Mornings. It's a book of poetry. It's one of her later works. I'll have to say that there aren't as many corkers in this one as her earlier stuff, but I still think it's worth getting. It's a lovely book, but I think some of her earlier works have got a bit more the sort of depth, and there's more consistency throughout. But that's critical. I'm allowed to be. You can still be critical if you're present. Anyway, here's something that I think relates to today. It's called Today as well, which is nice. So, today I'm flying low, and I'm not saying a word. I'm letting all the voodoos of ambition sleep. The world goes on as it must. The bees in the garden rumbling a little, the fish leaping, and the nuts getting eaten, and so forth. But I'm taking the day off, quiet as a feather. I hardly move, though really I'm travelling a terrific distance. Stillness. One of the doors into the temple. I love that idea that in doing nothing, in being still, in being present, in actually not following the energy, the constant rush of society, we're being rebellious. Firstly, being rebellious, and that's hard. We're swimming upstream here, guys. But we're also going a great distance. I love that in being still, you're going, the groundwork you're doing is phenomenal. Because essentially we just want to feel good as humans. Basically, call it peace, call it ease. Just want to feel at ease. Happiness is a made-up concept for the future. Success is again a made-up one that doesn't end in happiness. Productivity again is often misguided energy. But feeling at ease is good. And feeling at ease can be done while working hard. There's a flow in that. Um, there's certainly a flow in working hard and be doing it at ease. And that's the thing that I'm trying at the moment. I'm working on some new bits and bobs at the moment. I'm really trying hard and try to not try hard to make the experience at ease. And it's an experiment. I'm seeing what happens if I do this with less perfection and concern about timelines and outcomes, and do it with more playfulness. And when I don't want to look at my screen anymore, I walk away from my screen. And when I'm ready to come back, I'll come back. And I'm just being, I'm very fortunate in that, I'm self-employed and I can do those things. And I've been employed for many years. And there's a flip side to both coins. They're good and bad. But, I've got the luxury of that. And so rather than feeling guilty that I'm not working all day and sat by my screen producing, I'm seeing what happens and what the quality of the things I do are. And it's filtering into everything. It's been, it's not a seamless thing. There are some days that I do end the day and I haven't focused much, and I've also not got much done. I just think, what? There's a balance to be found. But anyway, as long as you can laugh at it, you'll be fine. That's the end of our session. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. It's been a bit of a talky one-sided deal today. I hope you feel that you can be present now. You don't have to wait to be at ease, be at peace, to feel enlightened. Know that there's nothing wrong if there's more work to be done. Have some bravery to do it. Have some bravery to surrender. And that's not easy. At what cost? Your sense of self, who you are, your struggles, your history, your great big... Remember those old phone books? Imagine like 20 of those volumes of issues we've got written down in our life. Massive. Take up 4 libraries. You can put those down. It's the cost of yourself, though. We've all got those stories. So yeah, I hope that's helped a lot. And thank you so much for listening. I'll be back same time, same place next week. I've not put the session up yet, but I will do. And luckily, I have some childcare now, so I can do the afternoon in the UK, which means it's not quite so early for you in the US. Australia, I'm sorry, you're probably not even here, and other places, other times. We do our best. All right. Bye for now, everyone. Thank you.